Charles I was a king who ruled England, Scotland, and Ireland in the early and mid-17th century. His reign was one of civil war, terror, and discrimination, and for that he deserves the title of a tyrant. Charles began his reign in England in 1625. Over the course of the next 4 years until 1629, Charles dissolved Parliament 3 times. This is because he and Parliament did not agree on who should rule. Charles wanted absolute power, whereas Parliament wanted there to be a balance of rule between the king and Parliament, a constitutional monarchy, or, even better, total control of the law for the people, a democracy. Oliver Cromwell, in particular, favored the idea of democracy, but he comes in later, so don't worry about him yet. Finally, in 1629, Charles decided to dismiss Parliament for good and rule completely alone, with the exception of a few advisers like Archbishop Laud and the Earl of Strafford. He ruled like this until 1640, and the period is known as the 11-year tyranny. But after attempting to force a new prayer book upon Scotland and Ireland, fights broke out among the neighbours. Scotland and Ireland were, at the time, under King Charles's command, but were formidable foes nonetheless. Soon the king found that he needed an army for which the cost would be at least £1,000,000. And there it was that was the problem. The king didn't have £1,000,000, and the only way to get that kind of money would be Parliament. Parliament would give Charles the money quite readily, but only on the condition that Charles would not be able to rule alone, and to share his power with Parliament and abide by England's laws. Charles, instead of being reasonable and making a compromise, instead set out a warrant for the arrest of 4 men who had spoken against him, one of them being the aforementioned Oliver Cromwell. When that didn't work, and when Cromwell tried to arrest him instead, Charles forced them into a civil war. The king, even without £1,000,000 to use, was still able to raise a decent army, almost twice the size, if not at times more, than Cromwell's. They were called the Royalists, or Cavaliers, and had trained to fight all their lives. Cromwell raised a more ragtag army, a militia, who trained for about 6 months. But by some amazing luck and a lot of followers, Cromwell won the war and executed the king. The dictionary's definition of tyrant is a cruel and oppressive ruler. Charles dissolved Parliament, hunted Catholics, and forced his own people into war against each other. Therefore, we can definitely call him a tyrant, as well as one of the least intelligent kings of England throughout history.
Created using Powtoon.